Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is
out of focus. This video is out of focus, and it's not my fault. Well, alright, but I did have trouble trying to get it in focus.
oh. Hello.
Please just bear with it. I'll try and sharpen it in post, but it's not going to be good, is it? Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, back to the video.
This is me talking about my short film and hopefully answering any questions you had and why I did what I did and stuff like that. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a link in the description below, and I recommend watching that first, then watching this one. But do it any way you want. So yeah, I'm gonna watch on my phone so I get an extra view. Joking. Right, and we're going. Right, so when he's putting down the hand, I wanted that to be a bit longer because it's easy to miss, I think, especially in a YouTube video, but that's alright, I guess. The other thing is that the ripped photo coming down, that shot was just a test shot. I just quickly animated the things to fall down to see what it looked like. Originally that beginning and ending wasn't in the plan, and I did that test shot just to see what the version you see now would look like, and it wasn't meant to be in the final film. I was meant to redo it properly. It didn't happen. That's why keyframing is a bit weird. It works well enough, I guess, but it wasn't meant to be like that. But yeah. The title is actually quite funny. I downloaded that title off this website, and guess what the font is? The font is called Times New Arial, and this font is literally, the characters are literally half Times New Roman and then half Arial. Times New Arial. Anyway, the animation of the lighting up of the letters actually took a while. Oh look, that's my phone in the corner there. Also, I'm not sure if I made it very clear that the voices that are being heard are the parents arguing just outside his room. That's why he's woken up and he can just hear it and he's a bit fed up. I don't think I made that too clear, but I've learned from it. Oh yeah, so this shot here was a bit tricky because I wanted the outside of the window to be more distorted than the inside of the room. I think overall it worked. Also, I don't have the papers with me now, but the storyboarding is actually on the windowsill there, and that I was highlighting them when I checked it off when I did the shot. That's not meant to be in the windowsill, but that's my storyboards. Did you see those birds? Fake. No. Well, sort of. They weren't there at the time, and then my school has got loads of birds, and I just filmed some against the sky, which I could easily just key out, and then I dropped them, placed them there, because I wanted more movement in the outside world. There is also a cat that jumps onto a wall and then a roof after he unstops time. Oh, another bird. Framed in the door, trapped.
What are you supposed to do?
I mean, I don't have time to do things.
Really?
Yeah, I have to go to...
That's here. Also, I sort of messed up here. If you look at the milk is extremely bright. This shot and this shot right here and for this video is basically the same, apart from the light. So before, in the short film, I put the light on that side, which is against the windows, because there's 3 of these, so that's where all the light's coming from. And I put a big light from school, this one, on that side. I don't think it worked out, it just made the milk extremely bright. So now I've learnt to sort of put lights where the light's coming from. What else happened here? Those lights, oh wow, they're pointing pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Those lights here, I turn them off to make it look a bit more grayer. Also, that cereal was there because I just like that cereal. I just wanted it to be in my film.
You just said if someone doesn't like something.
So this shot, the first Frozen one with people frozen, their reflection is actually meant to be shown in this, but I took it out because... Why did I take it out? So for this shot, obviously, my parents are a picture, and then I bring them in, and I don't have to worry about them moving or anything because it's a picture. But the grain on it would be frozen. So what I had to do there was drop in another grain effect to make the grain move as if I was actually filming it. And then I did the split and did the blurring around the edges. So I feel like that would be what a camera would see if it was actually recording that, because the grain was there. Also, I feel like looking back on it, the shake does look a bit 2D. I think it would have been good to have put in a little parallax there.
Think about this. I don't want to think about it. You think about it.
Yeah, so in this shot you can see the reflection along the table here, but in the other shot it wasn't there.
You alright?
Yeah, good. Thanks for meeting me, by the way.
It's alright, it's only a couple of minutes away.
I didn't know if that shot would work because I didn't want to cut to a new person. Yeah, I felt like that might have been a bit disorientating, so I wanted to slowly bring her in. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. When we were filming this scene, there were some youths. Nearby, being pretty loud.
Excuse me. I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to shoot a film for school. I'm trying to shoot a film for school. And,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is it right if you keep it down a bit?
That was probably the scariest thing I've done in my life.
You just can't.
Yes, you can. There's no physical reason why you can't. You just need to man up and do it.
I probably shouldn't point out all the problems in my short film, but look at the continuity of the hair.
There's no physical reason why you can't. You just need to man up and do it. You never guess what happened the other day.
What happened?
I wanted to hold that shot a bit longer, but it's alright. All the slow motion shots at 120 frames per second are 720p. You can't really tell, especially on a phone like this. So don't think quality is everything. This is worse than HD and no one's noticed a thing. So, and the music for that bit was actually, it took me a while to make, just because I didn't get it fully right, but then I was happy with this. So for months I've been trying to make music that really fitted with the film, but kept on failing, and eventually I made that and I felt like it really fit, but it was pretty late I started making that. On the night before it was due, I was rotoscoping and doing the music. I'm not a fan of that shot with the step. I like this shot, and notice how it's focused on the ring. It's meant to show that he's thinking about the ring here. Ooh, what was up with that flash? Hang on, I don't remember it being that bad. Ooh, God, I'm watching that again, slower.
Stop! Just stop it!
That shot there is actually an example of another mistake of mine. So for the colour split effect, you duplicate the layer 3 times, and what I forgot to do for a lot of these shots was mute 2 of the things, because otherwise I would have 3 times the sound. So that shot right there is really loud and it clips. Pretty sure. Is that the term to use? It clips? The sound's clipping there? I'm not too sure.
Just please stop. For me. And now for real.
And when he says "and now for real," that was just added in later to make it a bit more clear about what he's going to do. I just didn't want any confusion, so it might have, the recording was bad and didn't really fit in right, but I think I'd rather have it in than have a lot of people confused about what's going to happen, because maybe he unstopped time and just walked off and then that was the speech done, but I wanted people to know that that was him practicing. Now he's going to do it for real. So that bit there with the light changing, that's all practical. That would have been extremely hard to fake, all that light and the shadows of his hand and stuff. So yeah, just easier to move the light around than spend hours in the computer getting annoyed. Yeah, so that shot with at the end where he's all rotoscoped out, that was me staying up all night, just rotoscoping, hours on end. So yeah, that was my short film. Other stuff to say. When he would press the ring, we'd have someone to flash the light. That's just going to help with the compositing of the flare, because it does get rid of the shadows for a few frames there and stuff. The brief I chose for the coursework was do a 5-minute film with a plot twist at the end. It took me a while to think of a good idea I was happy with, but then I came up with this idea of someone who could stop time and does so regularly, and then at the end he goes to unfreeze time and it doesn't work. But then I wanted to make it so he wasn't selfish, so that you don't want him to be frozen and like you're rooting for him. I wanted the film to be quite powerful, and so I thought if I put like a real sort of drama element into it, it might make it more sad. A lot of people have been asking what happened at the end, and the answer is it's up for interpretation. What I like to go with is that the world disappears, the ring messes up, the world disappears, and he's just left in this like void, and then the picture falls down ripped just as a symbol. For the story also, so there are 4 scenes in that as I broke it down. So first scene, that's the setup. So a lot of films start with a person waking up, and I thought that was really overdone. But then as soon as like the average viewer thought like, oh great, another film with someone waking up, that's when it would change and he would stop time, and then that would be like, oh okay, what's going on here? They'd want to carry on watching. The first scene sets up his parents fighting, he can stop time, he's annoyed with it, and when he looks at the picture, he wants to go back to the good times when his family were all friends. That's what the first scene was meant to be doing, just setting up who he is, what his life is like, what his goals are. The second scene is the inciting incident, and it has him getting the idea to talk to his parents, and he tries it and he fails, and that it raises the stakes a bit as well because of the way that he failed. So he wasn't able to do it first time, and it shows that he's like, you know, struggling with it, and that's like something he has to overcome. So that third scene raises the stakes when he promises that he'll tell the parents to stop, and lets us get inside his head a bit, because before that he wasn't really talking much. It was hard to know what he was thinking. Well, hopefully I did a good job with letting you know what he was thinking, but the friend was there to make him, you know, to talk about what he's going through, so that we would know for sure like where he's at and stuff. That scene lets it all out for the audience. Well, for the friend, but for the audience as well. And the bit when he's walking down back to his house, I really wanted that bit in there. I guess it raises the stakes and sets the tone, and like it makes the audience empathise and root for him. I think it's a little step back and reflective moment for both of them, the audience and the character. And then obviously comes inside the house. That's just the climax. So yeah, I wanted the speech to be a bit more in the final version. The speech didn't come out great. I was really limited on time because it had to be 5 minutes, and what I'd written for the speech just didn't fit, but in the end it did work. Something that really helped me with the structure of the story was D for Darius. His short film playlist, he's got 7 videos in a playlist on how to write a short film, and those, I followed that. I think it worked pretty well. Before I even started sixth form, I'd seen that, and then when we got the task in, I was like, right, need to go back, watch it, revisit it, because it is so useful. You don't want to not be thinking about those things when making a short film, I think. I really recommend his whole channel, and especially that playlist if you're making a short film. So before I'd even started shooting, I'd made a storyboard of the whole film and like notes around it and stuff. I think the scene that changed the most was the last scene in terms of sticking to the storyboard and not. But most of it did stay the same. I do recommend storyboarding. It really works for me, helps me out. It works for me so much, I decided it could be in the film. Also, there is a little reference to Kingsman in the film, and when he does that, that's a reference to Kingsman when he, with the electrocuting ring. For the colour grading of my film, I didn't really do too much. I shot in a fake flat picture profile, and that just means I've got the saturation and contrast like decreased on the settings of the camera. So this is actually what footage looks like straight from the camera. Whoa, pretty not great, right? And then increase saturation, put an S curve on it, pretty much done. Sometimes I need to adjust the curve, but yeah, I do want to improve my grading skills and do it more, be more creative with it. By the way, I made the music on Soundtrap and it's amazing. I love that website so much. It's basically an online garage band, and I can recommend it more. If you're interested in making music, try it out. It's free. For this coursework, if you were making a film, you can be in it yourself. And saying that, I was in 2 of my classmates' films, and one of them is on YouTube. I play a sort of ridiculous James Bond character. Do watch it. The link is in the description below. It is pretty hilarious. I think that's everything I wanted to say about my film. It probably won't be. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe.